Hi, and welcome to the Ask Dr. Angela podcast with everyone's favorite OBGYN, Dr. Angela Jones. Have you ever been too embarrassed or shy to ask your own doctor about your, girl parts? Well, you've come to the right place to get straight answers. Feel free to ask Dr. Angela anything women's health related. Obstetrics and gynecology? She keeps it real. Pregnancy? She's been there, done that. Menopause? She'll get you through. Young or old, Dr. Angela's got you covered, girl. Now here's Dr. Angela.
What's good, people? This is Dr. Angela, everyone's favorite OBGYN, and I would like to officially welcome you to episode 321 of the Ask Dr. Angela podcast. I am feeling so good today. I had an amazing weekend. Lots of baking and cooking in my house. I've got a kid that does not like to eat out. She doesn't like fast food, which is great. She prefers a home-cooked meal, and so I do a lot of cooking and baking. We made some pretty amazing empanadas the other day. They were delicious. And we also undertook a Martha Stewart key lime cheesecake, which was flipping magnificent. It was actually not too bad. But it was delicious. I feel like this weekend's theme regarding baking and cooking was perfecting our whipping technique. We made fluffy pancakes on Saturday and Sunday. Saturday's batch didn't come out so well. It had to do with the egg whites. We didn't get enough air into the egg whites. But Sunday, they were perfection. Whipped those egg whites to death. They were so fluffy, so much air in them, and the pancakes were delicious. And then certainly for the cheesecake, we had to whip the heavy cream and fold them into the cream cheese mixture. For the pancakes, we had to fold the egg whites into the rest of our batter, which basically was just the yolks of the egg and some other things that we put in there. But it was delicious. We've been eating so much, which is why I've had to stay so active. I'm certainly not losing any weight during this pandemic. So, interestingly enough, I got a really interesting query. You guys know I get queries all the time from everywhere. And this query actually came from Refinery 29, and I was unable to actually respond to them because I was getting my ass kicked on call. I was so busy on that particular day. I was seeing patients in the office. I was at the hospital doing a ton of deliveries, so I wasn't able to really get back to them on this, but I figured that I would address it on my podcast. And so this is what they asked. They asked a couple of questions, and I'm going to just go through them. So in general, how often should women be changing their underwear? And this was so funny to me because there are no rules about when you should change your underwear. Change your underwear whenever the flip you want. Some people change their underwear daily, sometimes twice a day. Some people don't change their underwear daily. And you know what? Whatever you decide to do is fine. Specifically, as long as you have good hygiene techniques, like, when you go to the bathroom, you're wiping yourself well and your underwear are not soiled. That's like a preference kind of thing. The other questions that they had, number 2, since there are no real ends or beginnings to your day if you're WFH, working from home in the pandemic, how often should you change your underwear? More than you would in real life? Again, your bodies haven't changed. You're still shedding cells the same as you would otherwise, whether you're going to work or not. So again, when you want to change your underwear, change your underwear. If you're not feeling so fresh, change your underwear. If you're feeling more moist or wet or sweaty or whatever than usual, change your underwear. And if you're not, don't. So let's see. Next question. Is it beneficial to vaginal health to not wear underwear at all right now? Why? No more beneficial than ordinary. If you, again, don't want to wear underwear, don't wear underwear. If you're wearing underwear that's too little, too tight, then maybe not wearing underwear might be beneficial to you. But otherwise, again, it's completely personal preference. If you want to go commando, Go commando. Let your vagina, vulva air out. I'm sure that she or they will really appreciate it. Let's see. Number 4, should you wear underwear to bed? Am I sounding like a broken record? If you want, you can wear underwear to bed if you want. If you don't want to wear underwear to bed, don't wear underwear to bed. Again, I'm a huge fan. I happen to be a huge fan of, again, letting the vulva, the vagina, your lady parts breathe. Can you hear them exhaling? They're like, thank you for letting us out to play. You know, wearing underwear to bed is your complete preference. My Nana, actually my granny, was like a big advocate of not wearing panties to bed. I remember growing up, you know, my cousin Cersei and I, you know, we always be in our nightgowns without any panties on because my granny it was just what she did. She didn't believe in wearing panties to bed. So again, it's whatever you want. Let me see. Number 5, are you less likely to get a yeast infection if you never wear them during this time? Again, it comes down to hygiene. If your underwear is tight, if, you know, your underwear is too small, then maybe you will be more prone to yeast infections. If you're sweating a lot and your underwear are wet a lot and you're not changing them, those are the things that are gonna make you more likely to get a yeast infection. Not really whether or not you're wearing them or not. It's completely your choice. And the last question that they presented, let's see, while we're on the topic of undergarments, what about wearing a bra during quarantine? Again, do what you like. Isn't that a song by Digital Underground? Do you guys remember that? Or is that too old school? It might be too old school for some of you. I'm a little bit old. But Digital Underground is a rap group. I think they were like in the 80s, maybe 90s. And, you know, they had that song, Do What You Like. Well, same thing. Underwear, bra, panties. Do what you like. If you want to wear them, wear them. If you don't want to wear them, don't wear them. This whole pandemic, working from home, has nothing to do with your hygiene. Surprisingly enough, I think I read in a survey that like 45% of people said that they had worn the same pair of underwear for 2 days or longer. So again, you know, it's completely your choice. But if you start smelling bad and stanking, might be a sign. So anyway, that was actually kind of a fun query. I'm not trivializing the question. It's actually kind of nice to do something a little bit lighter, as some of the topics can be, you know, a little bit more on the serious side. So thank you so much. Love, love, love getting queries from these various news outlets. So thank you all so much for tuning in to the Ask Dr. Angela podcast. For those of you that are new, welcome, welcome, welcome. You can find out more about me. You can hit me up at www.askdrangela.com. That's AskDrAngela.com. There you can sign up for my weekly blog post. You can sign up for my podcast, my YouTube channel. You can also follow me on any of my social media channels. That's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. So I'm going to leave you with a lesson from one of my favorites, Life's Little Instruction Book. And lesson 266 says, beware of the person who has nothing to lose. That's a really important one. So I'm going to say that again. Beware of the person who has nothing to lose. Digest that. Mull on that. Think that over a little bit. That's a little more significant than maybe you realize. Thank you so much for tuning into today's podcast. I cannot wait to reconnect with you on episode 322. Until next time, choose happiness. That was a mic drop.
Thank you for listening to the Ask Dr. Angela podcast. For more information on women's health and the show notes for this episode, please visit Dr. Angela at www.askdrangela.com. While you're there, don't forget to leave your own message for Dr. Angela. See you soon! All of the information provided and discussed in this podcast is for educational and informational purposes only and should not take the place of consulting a physician. This podcast is not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure any disease or illness and does not and should not replace treatment from a medical professional.